My name is Jamin, I'm your first friend in Alaska, and today we're doing episode number 2, talking about unappreciated Alaska homes, and we've got a special treat over here on 4280 North Wolverine Road. This property is just about 3,600 square feet. It has a really nice kind of a farmhouse luxury vibe to it, while also being on 10 acres and being in the Lazy Mountain area over in Palmer. Now, what's unique about this is it is obviously a lot of acreage. You can do a lot of stuff with it while also being close to conveniences and kind of the small town vibe over in Palmer, and also having the Lazy Mountain right down the road, and that's one of the more popular hikes in the entire area. So you know the drill. We'll go and do a walkthrough, and we'll kind of give you the lowdown back in the studio to kind of talk about last impressions. And yeah, enjoy. We'll see you back at the studio. Okay, we're back here in the studio, and you know what? I'm going to give you a quick disclosure. The last clip that you saw there is not from the actual property itself. It is from the Clark Wolverine area, though, and I just wanted you to see that this area really does pop with color during the spring and summertime, so you don't think it's just this really drab, colorless landscape all the time. It's just kind of the time of year that I have to go out there and get this footage. So just showing you overall, yes, the area is absolutely beautiful. And every time I go out there, I kind of just hear like the Sound of Music intro every single time I'm out there. Okay, talking specifically about this property though, let's talk about pros and cons. So on the pro column, I'm going to say, it's approximately 3,600 square feet. We need to verify that, but about 3,600 square feet. And it's very functional, and it kind of has like an actual style that they've really kind of clumped onto, and that is kind of having this updated, remodeled, modern farmhouse kind of a feel to it. And the entire property really does kind of follow that line. I really do like that they did have like a vision going into that, and that's really nice. Updates are really good. Like everything's consistent all the way throughout. And believe it or not, it's kind of hard to find that here in Alaska. Another really big thing that stands out to me as well is that I don't think you're going to be getting a whole lot of winds at this specific property, because if you're looking around Palmer, there's a lot of winds coming and going just because you've got the Knik Glacier at the end of the valley. And that creates like a lot of winds coming and going out that direction. So the good thing about the Clark Wolverine area, the Lazy Mountain area, is it's largely shielded from all that just topographically and where it's located on the mountain. Now, you're still probably going to be getting some winds through there from time to time. I don't think it's going to be nearly as much as what it is in a lot of other parts of Palmer. So let's also consider that a really good win. Also, it's 10 acres in its level. Okay, now if you're in the Matsu area and you're around like the Palmer area, just because you have a lot of acreage does not necessarily mean that it's going to be usable land. Okay, so that's really nice. And you've already got it set up with the goat barns. You've got it set up with a lot of shed space. It's got the outdoor fire pit, and it just has a ton of great perks to it that I think a lot of people really do gravitate to if they're looking at the Palmer area. You know what? I'm just going to add on that real quick. A couple more things that really stood out to me. You've got those large windows as you're walking into the property, and that's awesome. So it's south facing, so you're going to be getting a lot of sunlight coming into the property, coming into the house. That's awesome. And also, it's very rare to find acreage, about 10 acres, that is only minutes away from Palmer. Again, pretty rare, and you kind of get that small town vibe there. And additionally, 10 acres, and most of the property is actually fenced. And that's super rare, because people in this area that are looking for acreage, usually they just want to buy it and then just not actually like fence it in. And for some people, that is really going to be a big deal, and it's certainly not an easy task to do, so, hats off to the sellers. All right, now let's go ahead and talk cons real quick. So it's been on the market for like nearly 6 months at this point, so obviously there's something about the property that is just not resonating with people who've seen it so far. So I would say, first off, it's got one car garage, and that garage is actually, like, you can kind of see it in the drone footage, it's kind of tucked away on the other side of that large opening kind of driveway section as you drive into the property. And for a lot of people that are going to be looking for a property like this, like, they want like a lot more garage space, because they've got like a lot of Alaska toys, they want to store stuff, they've got RVs and stuff like that. And they really do want to have like extra space. And yes, the argument of, well, there's plenty of room to do that, that's not good enough. Okay, people are going to have to put in the money to actually do that. And if that is something that they're going to have to do, like, you're not going to get paid for the potential of a property. Okay, like, you're going to get paid for a single car garage that's like 100, 200 feet away from the actual house. And I don't know, I'm kind of doubting it's heated. I wasn't able to actually go through there. And that means that people are going to have to tromp all the way across like that open area to get to the house if they do want to park their car there, which, I mean, most people are probably just going to park in front of the house instead of doing that. So I guess that the garage space really is just for storage. Another con that I see on this property, and keep in mind this is current as of the making of this video around mid-October, but they are asking for about $1.2 million on this property. Now, I'm not going to go into whether I think that is like within what we're seeing for this market will bear. Drop your comments down below. Would love to kind of use this as a resource and kind of a good place to get feedback for the seller and the listing agent. And also, if you are interested in the property and you want to go take a tour of it, you want to talk a little bit more about it, do feel free to drop me a line. Register at my website, and make sure you just put, like, I don't know, we'll say Wolverine in the little comment section. when you register to the website. Don't just drop that in the comment section down below. Like, I can't get in touch with you that way. Like, you have to go to the website, register, in the comment section when you're registering, just put in Wolverine, and I'll know what we're talking about, and I'll touch base and see what questions you have. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm enjoying this series. Let me know if you're still enjoying this as well, and we'll see you on the next one.